So this week, one business from each state got the opportunity to display its products at the White House, from Chick-fil-A, Gibson Guitars to Caterpillar.
Yeah, but it wasn't all big businesses. The Indiana representative is a one-person shop. Yeah. Indiana Statehouse Bureau Chief Nick Natario spoke exclusively to him about the visit. Nick, what type of business are we talking about?
These right here, believe it or not, this is a homemade broom, right, made in southern Indiana. This owner keeps busy by making his products and touring the country selling them. He also gets orders online. While he's been busy in the past, his business has exploded after what he calls an unforgettable trip. On most days, this cramped, hot, sticky shop is where you can find Brian Newton.
Too much time, to be honest with you. No, 6 and 7 days a week. I normally work between 8 and 10 hours a day, 6 and 7 days a week.
50+ hours a week, stitching, sewing, and spinning.
They call it a kick winder because you step down or kick to spin the chuck.
A product he made by equipment you'd normally find in a museum.
1878, still going strong. It was made to last.
Just as the machine is made to last, so is what he makes.
So the brooms have a 15-year construction warranty.
That's right, brooms.
I'm an artisan broom maker.
Products Newton has painstakingly pieced together for the past 7 years.
I latched onto it, I fell in love with it, and I've been enamored with it ever since.
He's not alone.
Don't do a single rack display like we had at the White House.
Broomstick Johnny's is a team effort with his wife Liz, who teaches consumers how to make their brooms last.
You just dip it, tap it off, hang it back up.
A profession both are eyeing for several years to come.
As long as I'm physically able to do it, I want to do it.
Their endurance is about to be tested because this week their orders are flying in.
Our message machine is plumb full. It wouldn't take anymore. We've missed 43 calls that didn't leave messages. The sales or orders are just going through the roof.
A boom tied to a call this couple never saw coming.
The phone rang and I answered it, you know, and the man said Clayton, his last name, from the White House, and I thought it was a crank call and I just hung up.
It was no prank. Newton and his wife were asked to show off their brooms in D.C. this week.
When the White House calls, you go.
Even if, they say, you feel a little out of place.
They literally pulled us right up to the front door of the White House, and we unloaded our brooms and we took them in.
I felt a little bit like a cross between Forrest Gump and the Clampetts.
The couple took part in President Donald Trump's Made in America display. A business from each state set up shop. For the Hoosier broom makers, it was overwhelming.
Well, they said we were representing Indiana. And then there was a real concern, oh wow, are we going to do right by the people of Indiana? Pressure
not just from back home, but there in D.C., as former Indiana Governor, now Vice President Mike Pence greeted them.
For some reason, I felt a lot more comfortable with Vice President Pence, but he's a hoocher, so go figure.
The nerves, he says, came from his time with President Trump.
I said, hello, Mr. President. I put my hand out and I shook his hand, and to be honest with you, I don't remember all what we talked about.
The campaign isn't just to help the businesses that were there. It's tied to an executive order President Trump signed this year. It encourages the government to buy local and crack down on foreign visas, a plan these small business owners like to see.
I like the fact that this is being articulated, and I'm hopeful that it's not just words, that actually things will happen.
Meanwhile, back home again in Indiana, this small business owner is racing to keep up.
It really is surreal.
A burst this broom maker hopes will last as long as his century-old machines.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It really was.
Truly a moment he won't forget. Newton doesn't make one type of broom. He makes several different kinds. And in case you're wondering, Brooke and Phil, they run in price from $500 to $300.
Wow.
Fascinating stuff. So how exactly were they selected?
They don't know. They're not sure.
Really?
And we reached out to the White House. They told us that it was a combination of the governors and also the congressional delegation. We reached out to the governor. Clueless. They don't know. They had no idea. Wow. And then their representative, Congressman Trey Hollingsworth team, never got back to us. So we're not exactly sure why they were selected.
I love that he hung up on the guy. Yeah, yes. Right. Yeah, White House. Okay. But why did the White House plan to do this event? What was it about?
Well, you know, this was a campaign promise. It was going to be all about Made in America, America First, and this was part of that. And I'll tell you, even though he doesn't remember what the president told him, his wife said that he told him these brooms made in Indiana are the real deal. So that meant a lot for that couple.
Pretty big endorsement.
It is.